What is up, guys? I am Matt Kearns, of course, on behalf of the Take 3 Reactors Summit. I am here because we have a really special guest. We've been trying to get him on interviews for Take 3 for a while now. It is none other than the greatest manager in Schmoedown history, Bobby Gucci, Tom Dagnino. Tom, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, guys. Anything for you, Kearns. I don't know the other guy yet, but I'm sure he's a nice guy as well. And then
Yes,
Kristen, I love as well.
all right. And the other guy is, of course, Malcolm. How you doing, Malcolm?
I'm doing pretty good. Just excited to talk to Tom. So
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
we
down. He's down under.
he's down under. Yes, he is, and we are excited to talk to Tom because this is pretty cool. This is an exclusive. This is Tom's first interview since totally destroying it at the Orlando live event. Tom, as the first question I ask you off the bat is, how did it feel to win not just the Managers Bowl, but the then Founding Fathers win? Like, you won the entire Orlando event.
I mean, I usually do, win pretty much everything I'm in, but this was a real special thing. This was, I mean, look, Christian's like, hey, did you study? I'm like, yeah, I'm drinking a little bit. We'll be okay, you know. So, I saw Emma and Kaiser. I had no idea what to expect from Kaiser. I mean, it wasn't much, but who knows? People surprise you. You know what I mean? So I came in there pretty hot. I mean, my main focus was, make sure Founding Fathers was going to, take this thing for sure. That was the main one. If I win, it was just icing on the cake, So when I landed Thursday. I made a big mistake. I met some guy on a plane, and there was like about 70 people waiting for Ubers outside of Orlando Airport. So we decided to walk, and it got really dicey. We almost wound up in a swamp. There was an alligator. I almost didn't even get to Orlando, to be honest with you. The event itself, but the alligator ran back in the lake that we were in, and basically, I was able to get to the show and get the victory, which was pretty amazing to me. I haven't won in a really long time, inside the Schmoedown, other than managing and things like that. So, getting a chance to, on the live stage with the electric crowd we had there was pretty amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to just say that I don't think any Schmoedown competitor will ever have a story about getting to a live event that's better than yours in Orlando. Now that we've heard it, you scared off an alligator to get there. Guys, this is what Tom Dagnino does for your entertainment.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then I was the only guy who landed that Thursday. So I was in downtown Orlando. There was a lot of stuff going on. It's a very interesting place. You know, everything's a lot cheaper too, which is not bad.
Not bad at all. So, Tom, Kaiser and Emma. Kaiser's definitely he's a new face on the Schmoedown, but Emma Fife is someone who you have had you've had an on and off rivalry with Emma for the past couple of years. How did it
For
feel
sure.
being on another Manager's Bowl with her? Again, of course, the last time she was able to best you. Personally, I'm still on your side about this whole baboon monkey thing. But again,
Yeah.
the ruling was. But how did it feel this time to walk away with the victory against Emma?
It was glorious. I mean, I was on cloud nine. Merle and those guys came out. They're like, dude, wow, you crushed that. I mean, I got 18 points. It's not like I beat her like 7-6, like Burnett beat Mita, you know what I mean? So, look, I got really favorable questions in 2, 3, and 5. Obviously I had a Hot Shots Part 2 hat on. So when they asked me who played, which Charlie Sheen, Topper Harley, obviously it was Hot Shots, you know. And then Bad News Bears is one of my favorite movies of all time. So that clearly the answer was Walter Matthau. And the 5-pointer, which was a really interesting story. About 2 weeks ago, I watch Beverly Hills Cop all the time. I just put it on when I'm cleaning the house, when I'm doing shit, right? So I'm like, yeah, let me watch Beverly Hills Cop 2. I haven't watched it in a while. My girlfriend's like, no, I don't want to watch that. I'm like, come on, let me just watch it. So I put it on anyway, and she's like, I'm not watching this. And right before I shut it off, it said directed by Tony Scott. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Sure enough, that's the question they gave me for the 5-pointer, and I won the game with it.
That's, you know what? that's how the Schmoedown works sometimes, just
It really
crazy things
does.
like
It
that.
really honestly does. It does, because look, Emma, her and Jen were talking about Drop Dead Fred like 2 days before the Schmoedown, and it just slipped her mind. I mean, the lights got to her.
Now, not only did you win the Manager's Bowl, but then Founding Fathers come out, they're facing corruption. Founding Fathers, look, we'll be honest, this season it's been a little rocky. It was possible they're going to have to break up, but then they win the team belts.
Yes.
Tom, how did that feel for you? How were the Five Horsemen feeling that night?
Let me tell you something. Dan Merle and John Roca are consummate professionals. Those guys were in the back studying the whole time. Merle's got this little notepad that he like highlights, and I mean, this guy is just. They came in laser focused, and clearly that was the case. I mean, they both had 2 perfect first rounds. I mean, unprecedented stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when you look at it that way, I'm like, look, and I thought corruption, they're good. Look, they're very good. They have a lot more holes than John Roca and Dan Merle, and that was proven on that day. Now, they put up a great fight, but, clearly we didn't have to answer our 3 and 5, which is very rare in championship matches. And Roca, and, Roca's such he's great on the mic. He's great in everything he does. He really deserved that belt. They're coming in calling everybody old men. The time is up for the older, competitors. Newer competitors are holding belts and winning championships. But guess what? Those guys aren't going to go away. They're too good.
They are too good. And speaking of too good, you have another team that's entering the team tournament that could very possibly win the whole thing. How are the Five Horsemen dealing with the team tournament and the fact that who's the boss? We could see at Spectacular who's the boss versus Founding Fathers for the team belt. Are you guys prepping for that, or are you kind of just taking it match to match?
Yeah, I mean, they're not really talking about it because they know it can happen, and that that'd be all 5 horsemen on the stage at one time, which would be pretty unprecedented. Clearly we got off to a slow start. People were losing. Merle loses to Oyama, Roca loses here, this and that. But I'm like, look, we have perseverance. We have a veteran leadership. So as you're seeing, it round into form, everybody in the beginning of the year is like, oh, Roxy's the manager of the year. Now Kaiser's the manager of the year. Now this guy's the manager of the year. That guy's the manager of the year. And guess who they forgot about? They forgot about me.
Guys, never count Bobby Gucci out. He always comes back.
Never. And there's always an air of possibility. As long as I'm breathing, I'm gonna give it a shot. So, look, can that happen? Yeah. I mean, look, Bateman's already playing Bibiani in the Spectacular, and hopefully, he takes that guy out. And then, we're going for the belt against Oyama. Now, if I'm sitting there and I'm managing the Founding Fathers, and they're playing who's the boss, and Bateman wins the championship against Oyama, I don't think there's any doubt that who's the manager of the year. Because like I said, when it's all said and done, it's always about the end of the year and who's holding those belts.
100%. It's all about the end of the year, all about who's holding the belts. And speaking of that, you have Ben Bateman, you already mentioned. How do you feel with everything that's been happening with him? Of course, he was supposed to play in Orlando, but couldn't. How do you feel about him going Spectacular with possibly having to play 2 really big matches?
I mean, that guy's laser focused. I mean, look, his back injury was it wasn't no easy task to get back from, no pun intended. So basically, that guy came in and basically played the whole singles tournament with a herniated disc. I mean, and came in and crushed it all the time. I think, in my opinion, he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league. And if I was first drafting somebody first, I'd probably take him.
Speaking of the draft, Tom, looking forward, are you thinking now, because of course you won the Manager's Bowl, you get a big kick in the draft board, are you starting to look at kind of the faction you want to build for next season?
Oh, absolutely. I'm already taking people to dinner and lunch, Like, I know exactly who I want. And if I hold on to the Founding Fathers or who's the boss and I get the champion, then I get another high pick. I'm going to be sitting with four of the best people in the game and disabled. You know.
So pretty much, you're in a good spot to win not only just the end of this season, but also the whole of next season. How does that feel for you as a manager?
Well, basically, you put yourself in predicaments to win. You know, I don't think I've ever put myself in a predicament to lose. And you know, the way you look at it, I mean, look, it all works out in the end. You know, some people just don't. I'm a big picture thinker. You know, I'm not a one-off guy. Straight big picture all the time. And you know, when you're looking at a lot of people don't look at the big picture. That's why if you're driving on the street, you know, people are always looking at the brake lights in front of them. No, look like 30 cars up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Look at the big picture. Big picture.
Big picture. And that's all you are, Tom. You're just big picture in this Schmoedown since day one. I want to real quick.
Absolutely.
Malcolm, do you have any questions you want to ask Tom?
Yeah, no, there was. Now, there is a potential that you could have all four horsemen left in the drafting. Like, if you had the choice to save your champions, would you do it?
I mean, it's a very interesting predicament. You know, it depends where you pick and who's around. I mean, if I don't get the first pick, you know, and Riley and Bateman, you know, don't win the championship or founding fathers or whatever the case may be, those guys are top picks regardless. So yes, there's always potential that the four horsemen or five horsemen can be broken up that way. We're positioning ourselves to make that not happen. So, you know, you draft Merle, you get Roca with them. You draft, you know, Bateman, you get Riley with them because they're a tag team. So it is what it is. So that's the way you got to look at it as well. And I'm hoping we stay together because I think the possibilities are endless.
They really, really are. Tom, we really want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy winning schedule to talk with us. Is there anything you want to promote to the Take 3 listeners?
Oh, absolutely. So on the 30th, Little Bobby and the Juice, his 8th episode, season finale is coming out. It's called Sexorcism. It is a very big step for us in this episode because we're using like a real house. The dolls are scaled a lot differently. There's a more of there's a lot of lighting. There's a lot of different kind of movements. This is the most ambitious episode we're shooting that we've shot. And I think we might have saved the best for last. So it's just, I implore everybody to watch this show. It's satire at its best. You know, you're missing out if you're not watching it, is what I'm basically saying. So look for that October 30th. And then, you know, we just greenlit season 2 ourselves, which is, you know, not an easy thing to do. So we weren't waiting for anybody else to greenlit it. So we greenlit it ourselves, which is an unprecedented move, you know.
That everyone should, if you are watching this and you do not watch Little Bobby and the Juice, what are you doing? Watch Little Bobby and the Juice. It's amazing.
Yes,
I supported their your GoFundMe, I believe. Come on, guys, this show's amazing. It's some of the best comedy out there because it's Tom.
I really believe that.
Tom, where can the good people find you on Twitter?
You know, pretty much at Bob Finstock across the board. You know. You know, it's Little Bobby and the Juice is you know, Instagram, but it's still, the handles are still all at Bob Finstock for sure.
At Bob Finstock, mi casa e su casa. Only a few people will get that reference. Tom, once again, thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for just continuing to be a badass winner in the Schmoedown, and I can't wait to see the Five Horsemen be the gigantic winners at the end of this season.